Hi, and welcome to Masterclass 2025. Today, we are going to talk about AI avatars and how you can really use them for smarter authoring in your day. My name is Joelle. I'm the implementation lead here at ClickLearn. And before we get started, I just want to remind you that if you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat as my lovely colleagues are standing by to assist you. All right, let's get started. So today we're really going to talk a little bit more about what is an AI avatar, when is an AI avatar useful to use, and then we are going to spend the majority of our time together to talk about three specific use cases of using AI narration, AI avatar from an authoring perspective. And this will actually be live, right? So inside the product, ClickLearn. And then we'll just wrap up with some best practices, and then I will hand you over to my lovely colleagues, Flamena and Morten. But let's get started. So, what are AI avatars? Well, an AI avatar is really a digital persona. It's a digital persona that can present content in a human like manner using synthesized speech and facial expressions. So, in essence, what does that mean? It means that they are not just animated characters, right? They can really just, they are designed to simulate human communication, making them very useful for training, onboarding, and documentation scenarios. Because in here, we really find that consistency, scalability, and engagement are key factors. So there are some overall useful scenarios, and perhaps you will have more on your end and think about different scenarios that are applicable to your specific situation, right? But overall, I find that creating engaging video content can really be beneficial to use an AI avatar because it presents information in a much more dynamic and human-like way. And that really have a profound effect on, the audience, the attention from the audiences, of course. Then it's also a great way to scale content production because it allows you to, as an organization, to produce multilingual and personalized content efficiently without needing human presenters for each different version. And of course, that really connects with standardizing of your communication, right? So AI avatars ensures that you have consistency in tone, delivery, and branding across training materials and your help desk. That gives some sort of reassurance and uh, um, allow the end users to feel comfortable with the material. And the last thing, and this is really a point that it's not my colleague Morten pointed out, that it will allow, as an organization, it will allow you to reduce production cost. So compared to traditional video production, AI avatar can significantly lower these costs while still maintaining a high quality. So here we are really coming from a user-centric perspective, right? What is it from a content creator's perspective that I need to do in my day-to-day work? I need to create great content that really benefits the end user, but sometimes maybe I already have some pre-existing content. Sometimes I am in a hurry, I have a deadline, and so on. There can be many different scenarios. So I've decided to select three specific use cases from an authoring perspective that I find universal. And one of them is quickly convert presentations into narrated training materials. So if you have already existing content, you don't need to redo your work. The other thing is it can really deliver multilingual content for global teams, meaning that, of course, if you have some content in one language, you don't need a person like me, a presenter, to come in again, fly in to any location and redo it in another language. You can actually do it from within your office. And then the last thing is, of course, that you'll be able to standardize and scale your content for onboarding and specific just process documentation. So before continuing, I just want to say these three use cases again is just universal use cases you may experience or decide that you have other cases that could be beneficial. So keep that in mind once we now go into ClickLearn Studio, and I will sort of present these use cases with different perspectives and show you how you can actually make or transform your content into AI narration. So let me just see. I'm just popping into my ClickLearn Studio. You'll see everything from the back end here. I am in my ClickLearn Studio. I'm in my project that I set up for today's webinar. Um, we are in the recordings menu. For if there's anyone out there who's not really familiar with ClickLearn, pop your email and your name in a private chat, and then we will contact you. Um, but for people who knows this is of course where you manage and upgrade and optimize your recordings, right? Um, One of the things I really find useful is that, or a scenario we do hear from time to time here at ClickLearn, is that people say, well, we have a new system, for example. We need to create ClickLearn recordings, the how-to guides, optimize it, but we actually have a lot of pre-existing materials in PowerPoint deck. Can we reuse this, or do we have to, start from scratch again? And you can absolutely reuse your PowerPoint deck in this example here. And I'm going to show you how you can best do that. I'm just going to open one existing recording. And basically, we have the overview and so forth here. You can already see that I've created some how-to steps, and I've also added some some notes, and also even worked with the AI narration. So I'm just going to show you how you can easily do it. One of the things is, even if I'm in a hurry, I have a tight deadline, I don't have to spend that much time on it. And the reason is I can just click in my list of steps where I want to add a AI narration. I can go to my PowerPoint narration, and literally in here I can browse my files, selecting my PowerPoint presentation to create some great content from. I can either upload it from my computer, but here I already have a PowerPoint slide I want to use. So once I've selected the PowerPoint slide, importing it, it's going to break it up into, or PowerPoint deck, slide deck, I would say. It's going to break that up into specific slides. And I'm going to choose one slide here. Now I've decided to, or selected one slide, and you can see that the narration script field, lightens up, allowing me to generate a script with AI. To do so, I need to, or I can choose specific criterias or select some of them: mode, style, and length. That will really sort of combine, allow the AI to generate an amazing script, or so we will see. So in the mode, it really sets the sort of tone, right? What kind of tone do I want for my content? I'm just gonna do maybe, let's say, storytelling. And then the style is sort of like the verb is how is this going to be communicated, right? Specific feeling here. Let's say an optimistic one. And then the length. Well, I am really a person who loves less is more. So I'm going to choose the short one. And then finally, I'm just going to click on create or generate. And you can see here that it's already generated some content. And I think we should, let's hear it and hear how it sounds. So I'm going to click on this little icon, text to speech.
Imagine setting off on a journey where every step matters, and starting at the right point ensures a smooth adventure. When we begin at the correct page, it guarantees proper categorization and integration of customer data, weaving a tapestry of accuracy and reliability. Like a painter selecting the perfect color palette, starting correctly ensures that every data point finds its rightful place, creating a beautiful and precise picture of our customers. This meticulous approach not only prevents errors, but also fosters trust and confidence in our data management processes. Imagine setting off on a journey where every
Great.
step matters, and starting at the right point ensures a smooth adventure.
I'm just
When we begin
going
at the
to add
correct
this
page,
so
it guarantees.
we have this updated. That was a bit of a long storytelling. That's my fault. I should have picked another one, but I thought just for the benefit here to show you how you can actually start working with narration. You can even change it and upgrade it. So basically, I can click on Edit here, and then we can actually sort of upgrade or update the AI narration. So selecting a new mode, maybe Streamline would be a better option for training content in this case. Maybe we should have a more formal um, perspective, and then I'm asking the system to generate this new. What that really does and allows you to do as a content creator is that you are saving a lot of time by just asking an AI narration or transforming your content into AI generated narration. And you're also keeping your training materials up to date so that everyone can follow them regardless of, role, location, and so forth. Really allowing you to create some great content. Another thing is that I am not a video editor, but with this tool, I can just easily transform anything I need without any specific technical details or needing any specific technical details or software beyond my PowerPoint slide and ClickLearn. What I really like as well is that I will be able to reuse PowerPoint slides that I've already used for one recording. I can actually reuse them for another recording because I'm really just selecting specific slides from my slide deck. So there's just a lot of great benefits here to take into consideration. What we can then do is now we really transform content into AI narration. We can then go a step further and say, well, for video content or the assist, we actually want to introduce an AI avatar. Really now taking it to,
Ensuring accuracy in
oh,
customer data.
oh, there's a lot of talk here. Really now taking it to the next level where we don't just hear narrator noise or a voice narrating what we've sort of introduced, and then we can follow along in a subtitle block here. No, we can actually say, well, we're going to turn off the subtitles. Let's skip that. And then we're going to say,
Ensuring
oh,
accuracy in.
and then we're going to click on edit. And now it's similar to the other pop-up window that we experienced or saw moments ago, but now we actually have some advanced option. And here you can select the AI avatar. And this will really enable you to use an AI avatar for text to speech in your content. So what I want to show you now is how this will appear from an end user perspective. Because even though you are the ones who are really creating all of the magnificent content here, everything we do with ClickLearn, everything we do as training specialists or content creators, it's for the benefit of the end users. So let's have a look at that. Because we do hear from time to time from organizations saying, well, we are a global company, we are based in different regions. We have maybe offices in South America, we have offices in Europe, in East Asia, different things. And how can I just, provide my narrated versions of my content in their native language without needing translation services or any additional cost? So let's have a look at how it will look like from an end user perspective. In this case, we do have the learning portal here that contains all of the training material you have created. Um, in this case, we split it up into different specific areas. And if I go into my customers, I will be able to find our recording here for create a new customer. I want to give you some perspective into the show me and how the AI narrator will enhance the user experience.
Hello, I'm Mark. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of setting up a new customer in Business Central. Let's dive in. First, gather the necessary contact information to complete the process. You will need the customer's formal legal name, their website, phone number, mailing address. Make sure to use the name and address as they appear on the tax registration form. Once you have all this information, you're ready to move on to the next steps. Today, we will discuss the process of customer registration. First, users access the registration page by navigating the system interface efficiently. Next, entering essential customer details accurately is crucial for reliable tracking and communication.
So you can see how Mark is really presenting step by step, not only the process, but also tapping into some details about how to create a new customer, what to be aware of, and also just a general overview of when you are working with customers. I can easily go or change the language in my learning portal to German, for example, in this case. And you can see everything has been translated. So if I was a German native speaker, I could find my way through the same recording, but only everything will be in German. So I can click on here and then let's have a look.
Hallo, ich bin Mark. In diesem Video führe ich Sie durch den Prozess der Einrichtung eines neuen Kunden in Business Central. Lassen Sie uns eintauchen. Sammeln Sie zunächst die erforderlichen Kontaktinformationen, um den Vorgang abzuschließen. Du brauchst der formelle offizielle Name des Kunden, Ihre Website, Telefonnummer.
So you can see here how Mark suddenly became a native German speaker. But you will also observe that, in this case, the PowerPoint slides are still in English. And this is because there are different use cases depending on the organization and their needs, right? But what I want to convey to you here is that you can decide either to translate everything, upload new screenshots, new PowerPoint slides in German, and also create some very specific content for all native German speakers. Or you can have this hybrid version where you say, well, people do understand, what they read and so on. English is a global language, but we do want Mark in this case to provide that contextual information, that cohesive understanding about the process itself. And this is what he's going to do, and this is what he has done here in German. But let's have a look at how this will appear in the user experience panel, because we do have, of course, the learning portal itself, but in the user experience panel, you will actually have access to processes that are very contextual based, so that you can learn in the flow of your work, and you will also be able to target the learning content to relevant user-specific roles. So I am in my Business Central, and you can see there's a little blue button up here called UXP, and this will really allow me to disable the user experience panel to when I need it, and it's not something that is just static in here. You can see that I have some top suggestions here, and depending on how I navigate, i.e. the learning in the flow of your work, these suggestions will update accordingly. But I want to show you how the create a new customer, for example, can look like from within the user experience panel. You have an overview of all of the steps here, and then you have the option of viewing the Show Me video directly inside Business Central, in this case, of where you are working. So you don't need to navigate to any different pages, but you can also activate the assistant, and the AI narration and avatar works in both examples. So let's first have a look at the video just for a couple of seconds, and then afterwards we will see the assistant.
Hello, I'm Mark. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of setting up a new customer in Business Central. Let's dive in. First, gather the necessary contact information to complete the process. You will need the customer's formal legal name, their website, phone number, mailing address. Make sure to use the name and address.
And then let's have a look at the assistant.
Hello, I'm Mark. In this video, I'll guide you through the process of setting up a new customer in Business Central. Let's dive in.
And in here,
Today, we will discuss the process of customer registration. First, users access the registration page by navigating the system interface efficiently. Next, entering essential customer details accurately is crucial for reliable tracking and communication. Following this, configuring customer settings customizes the profile to meet specific business needs and processes. Lastly, saving and finalizing the registration ensures data integrity and that the record is ready for business use. Additionally, user adoption is seen as an investment in the long-term learning and growth of the business.
so there was a lot of things that Mark wanted to convey here to us. With the assistant, even though you have the AI avatar, you can actually
Hello, I'm Mark. Today,
navigate
we will discuss
back
the
and
process
forth,
of
and you
customer.
can also just skip it. So if the content is a bit too heavy, the end users have a lot more agency in what they want to skip, and even also navigate to different steps depending on where they are in the system, of course. So that was really what I wanted to show you inside the user experience panel. I now just want to go back into our presentation, wrapping up this webinar with some best practices. So some of the best practices here can be, intuitive for many people, but one of the things that I really find useful is to make sure you match the voice and the avatar to your audience and message, right? That is the first thing. Choosing a narrator voice style that aligns with your content, with the tone, for, depending, maybe if it's formal training, you will choose a professional tone. If it's more friendlier, you can choose the storytelling. But really build up some consistency in your training material that will enhance the trust and keep the audience engaged. Another key element is keep scripts conversational and neutral. Like write narration as you would speak it directly to the audience. Avoid any overly technical or robotic phrases. And just remember to use some pauses, emphasis, sentence variations to give that narration that additional, oomph that makes it more human-like and relatable. And then, of course, use avatars to enhance, not distract. Now, personally, I'm very enthusiastic about AI, but of course, everything needs to be done intentional and thoughtful. Um, so really try to think about what is the purpose of this sort, what is the outcome, and also engage maybe some end user testing groups, right? Just to see how it will come across. That's always a good idea to enhance that user adoption in the end. Well, that was really it for me. I want to thank you for watching. Next up is Plamena and Morten. They are going to talk about the topic system connectors and updates. So I wish you a lovely day. Bye.